3 months of off-season preparation plus a week of racing and practices all culminate in NASCAR's Super Bowl, the Daytona 500. 45th running of this event. Been an interesting speed week so far, with Kevin Harvick getting his first win in a race since July of 2001 at Chicagoland.
Well, here we are at the Great American Race, the Daytona 500, the NASCAR Winston Cup Series premier event. This is Joe Moore, and I'm with Barney Hall to bring you live flag-to-flag coverage on MRN. This track is known by everyone, race fan or not. But for these race teams, it's a glory all its own when you can get a win here.
Well, you're right. To have your name mentioned as a former winner here at Daytona puts you on a list with some drivers that these guys have admired since they were kids.
The 83 car has been hooking up and working well on the track with the 12 car.
That's just great to see. I always get a kick out of watching guys out on the racetrack who you know have a lot of mutual respect. They both want to win bad, but they can still give another guy a break now and then.
It always seems that Ryan Newman is starting up near the front of the pack.
With 9 front row starts in 2002, he's always a threat to get the pole.
That car of Elliott Sadler sure is something else, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most interesting pace schemes in all of NASCAR. You certainly don't have any trouble picking him out on the racetrack, and that's what a sponsor is after.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Well, here's the starting lineup.
Starting out front are the NASCAR.com car and the Dodge dealers UAW Dodge. Starting in row 2 will be the UPS Ford and the Dale Jr. Chevrolet. In row 3 are the Pennzoil Chevrolet and the UAW Delphi Chevrolet. In row 4 are the Alltel Dodge and the Rubbermaid Sharpie Ford. Rounding out the top 10 starting spots are the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet and the Citgo Ford. The 6th row has the Team Rusty Dodge and the Sterling Marlin Dodge. In row 7 are the M&M's Ford and the Lowe's Chevrolet. Starting the race from row 8 are the Interstate Battery Chevrolet and the Stacker 2 Dodge. And in row 9 are the 21 car and the Granger Ford. Starting in row 10 will be the Valvoline Pontiac and the America Online Chevrolet. In row 11 are the Tide Pontiac and the U.S. Army Pontiac. In row 12 are the Kellogg Chevrolet and the 57 car. Row 13 finds the DuPont Chevrolet and the DeWalt Power Tools Ford. The 14th row has the 42 car and the GM Goodrich Chevrolet. In row 15 are the Caterpillar Dodge and the Autobahn Ford. Starting the race from row 16 are the Singular Wireless Chevrolet and the Dr. Pepper Dodge. Row 17 has the Target Dodge and the O2 car. Starting in row 18 will be the BAM Racing Dodge and the Dodge dealers UAW Dodge. In row 19 are the Net Zero Pontiac and the Hooters Ford. In row 20 are the Kodak Max Film Pontiac and the Georgia Pacific Dodge. Back in row 21, we have the Cheerios Dodge and the Pfizer Ford. rounding out the field is the Home Depot Chevrolet.
That is your starting lineup for the 2003 Daytona 500. Some storylines to recap throughout the week, if you've just been tuning in. Kevin Harvick won the Budweiser Shootout all the way back on February 10th, Saturday night. The dual races were entertaining, to say the least. In dual race number 1, Thursday afternoon, Dylan Murray just edged out Dale Jarrett in the photo finish. And in the second event, Dale Earnhardt Jr. teamed up with Joe Nemechek late to end up winning the second dual race. So, but there are going to be a couple cars going to the rear. Mark Martin went to the rear in a backup car after a crash in the Thursday Twin 125 race. Tony Stewart blew an engine in his qualifying race. 3 months of waiting is going to come down to this. We're underway at Daytona. Takes one full lap for these 43 Winston Cup stock cars to go to full speed as Dylan Murray will pick up where he left off back in 2002, being the defending champion, winning the Daytona 500 and winning the season finale as Earnhardt Jr. just comes out of nowhere to steal the lead. As he will take the lead heading out of turn 2. It looks like Dylan Murray and Earnhardt Jr. are going to hook up. So they head through 3 and 4. It's kind of been a theme that Earnhardt Jr. and a few guys have been trying to experiment, especially with some of the non-point races this year, and you're probably going to see with the smaller fuel cells, which is a change that NASCAR made for 2003 to try to eliminate some of the small packs in the big one. And you can see some guys hooking up, getting in smaller groups. As you can see right here, within a lap of Murray and Earnhardt Jr., the 83 hooking up, they've got at least 2 seconds on the field. Plus, they're both saving fuel, which is going to throw a huge wrinkle in the strategy for these guys. Because typically, the past year, a lot of guys would pit in groups, in larger groups, which means everybody's got to come down pit road in a panic, slam on the brakes,
Work with the leader. Let's see if we can break away from the
and
pack.
hope you can fit in and not lose the graph. But with these smaller packs, the spotters can communicate, and when it comes time, they both can pit and head straight for pit road. Four laps complete early on in the Daytona 500. You can see Dale Jr. and Dylan Murray, both of them hooking up, has allowed for almost 2.5 second gap between the two cars in third place Dale Jarrett, who's a two-time winner of the Daytona 500, hoping to make it 3 this year. We had the famous call in 1993 racing none other than the late Dale Earnhardt to the win while his father, who is a color commentator over at CBS, was calling his son the victor. He also won in 2000 in what has been dubbed probably the worst Daytona 500 to watch, because everybody ran in small packs because the package that they brought for speed each that year was garbage. Johnny Benson almost won that race until Daniel Ford's ganged up on him. Backstretch again, 5 laps complete in the Daytona 500, and it's just Merway and Earnhardt Jr. They did get separated there for a moment during 3. I think Jones trying to drag the brake to pick up the 8 car. There's at least 3 seconds between the top 2, and well, there were 3 seconds, but now Dale Jarrett and Bill Elliott and Kurt Busch, they seem like they're going to be teaming up. The pack's a lot more separated than the rest of the field. Dale Jarrett, out of nowhere with a monster shove from Bill Elliott, is caught up to Dylan Merway and Earnhardt Jr., and Dale Jarrett's going to try to lead the Daytona 500. Jr. gets shuffled out to 4th. Here comes Bill Elliott trying to look to the inside. Dale Jarrett to his outside. Thank you, 3 and 4. Jones, he's doing a good job kind of running from really almost all the super speedway races last year. He's doing a great job when he's controlling the lane. You see Jarrett's on the outside, he's trying to block. Now he comes down. There's Bill Elliott right there in the bottom lane. He doesn't have to worry too much about him. Now Dylan's going to try to catch the block here, but Elliott got a huge push from the 12 car Ryan Newman. They were able to team up out of nowhere. Now Dylan's got to worry about side drafting the 12, and that's going to allow Bill Elliott to take the lead and pull away. Ryan Newman had a few strong runs in his rookie year. Just barely got edged out in the playoffs. He was eliminated in the round of 16 at Bristol last year. As we come
right there with
through
the leader. Stay with him.
Carnival, we have completed 9 laps. We are working the first fifth of the Daytona 500. That's been complete. Bill Elliott has been your race leader. It's kind of been catch and go on who the 83 wants to work with. Dylan Merway, the defending champion, he has teamed up with the 9 of Bill Elliott. As they come down the backstretch. Everybody's saying pit stops today could take place about lap 20, depending on how things shake out. So now it looks like Bill Elliott and Dylan Merway have teamed up, and just off the raw speed, Bill Elliott's just cutting away and kind of pulling away from Dylan a little bit. As see a spotter telling him to back up, drag the brake. Because the problem is these super speedway races, and to a certain extent, say it when they come out to that new 3-mile super speedway at Orlando this July, you can sort of more or less say that the more cars you get in the pack,
If you need someone to draft with, he'll work with you.
better you'll be, because two cars may be faster than 10
Fuel tank ought to be about half empty.
or 20, but if those two cars get separated by at least half a car length, it's just a matter of time before the pack gets to them.
The one car is out there on the track again. He'll be a little slow.
As
Be careful.
Jeff Green
Got the leader.
is
Stay on his back bumper.
had some problems, completely missed that. Dylan Murway and Bill Elliott are gone right now, as those two have teamed up. Dylan to the outside, back on the brakes, Dylan to the inside.
The 9 car up high. Hold your line. He's still there. Still there. Keep digging. I guess a little respect pays off. He not blocking like usual. All clear, buddy.
Four Dodges in the top 5, 2 Chevrolets. Looks like I saw Earnhardt Jr. up there. For the most part, it's been Dylan Murway leading a few laps. Earnhardt Jr. led a few laps. Bill Elliott, Dale Jarrett spent some time out front. Dylan's going to try to pick the brake up a little bit. You can slowly see Newman starting to eat into that lead. Just a little bit. 14 laps. Working on lap 14 right now here in the Daytona 500. Depending on how things go, this probably could, with the smaller fuel cell, it looks like it could be a 2-stop race. Hopefully, in the weeks of practice, these guys have been able to practice their pit stops better and not have those big wrecks where people are running out of fuel and people are slowing, speeding up, slowing up, just going all over the place. Elliott to the outside, so now the pack is caught up to the leading two. Earnhardt Jr. trying to get a run on the inside. He's taking advantage of trying to see the air. It's a move that his father was so good at. That's why he was so strong at these super speedways. He tried seeing the air. Dylan shuts him off. Now Jr. is going to drop back and try to get a run from somebody. Rusty ducks to the inside behind the 9 of Bill Elliott. Elliott back to the point. There's a slow car at the back. NASCAR is watching the one car of Jeff Green. He had to appeal to the garage for some mechanical problems. There's some problems for a few laps of the hood up, probably because his alternator was starting to go out. As we got cars in the wall, I think Rusty Wallace and Dale Jr. might have got together in the back. It looks like things stay clean. Everybody else gets out of it, but those two cars did get together as Dylan gets into Bill Elliott a little bit. No further issues between those two. Here comes Newman to the high side. Dylan going to the bottom, trying to see if he can take advantage of just pure speed. And just like that, that big stack up between Rusty Wallace, Earnhardt Jr., and Sterling Marlin, all the beer cars, they're now 4 seconds back. And you got the top 3 racing the crap out of each other before pit road.
We got shuffled back to third. Keep digging. You're clear.
Got the 12 of Ryan Newman trying to get a run. Maybe hook up with the 9 of Bill Elliott. Dylan goes to the inside.
left front tire's seen some action. Got one outside. You've taken second. Leader's right in front of you. Clear on both sides. Car high. The right rear's getting warm. Keep an eye out. Number 12 is still there.
Bill Elliott and Ryan Newman teaming up on the inside lane. Dillon's going to drop back, maybe team up with the 9 of Bill Elliott. And close to green flag pit stops here in a couple laps. You're going to see some guys head down pit road. Dillon trying to search for grip. Obviously, some of the two differences between Daytona and Talladega, and with that 3-mile super speedway, which is a completely different beast, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Daytona, as the age wears down, it's kind of more of a handling track, more or less. Handling and, to a certain extent, tires and who you can draft with. Talladega is just pure speed. Pure raw speed. And Dillon takes the lead back from Ryan Newman. Bill Elliott follows the 83. And Bill Elliott bails to pit road. We'll see what Ryan Newman and Dylan Murway do. Are they going to pit together or not? Bobby Labonte and Johnny Benson have entered the conversation. I think Newman's starting to back off. I mean, it's just two cars at least 4 seconds apart from really any other competition. So you really could just back off and just peel down to the inside. Dillon's doing the same thing. There's Jeff Green up ahead. That might mess things up for the leaders. He's already multiple laps down. And Newman has to... And Dillon's going to pit later. Newman faked him out. Newman to pit road. What happened there? Ryan Newman to pit road. Dillon gets on the brakes. Looks like he's going to try to save whatever fuel he can. He's going to try to stretch as long as possible. That's how he won a lot of those races last year. He's going to do the same thing. Contact. Dillon into the wall. So Bobby Labonte and Rusty Wallace have caught up. 18-2. Now Dillon's going to file to the inside. And Dillon to pit road. Along with the 18 of Bobby Labonte. Maybe. Yep, there he's on pit road. They're pitting with him. Dillon all the way to the inside wall, pretty much. There you see Kurt Busch down there as well. Nice clean stop for the 83 team. A little small pit stop there. Dillon blends back in line. Got the 30 of Steve Park in his new ride for 2003. Steve Park and Jeff Green traded rides. They used to be Jeff Green's old car in 2002. Now Steve Park will be driving it.
Number 30, down low.
Kenny Wallace in the 23 with Bill Davis Racing getting his second car for the 2003 campaign. Teammate to Ward Burton.
Clear.
Up there in 18th.
Car inside.
So far, it's been caution-free up to this point.
Clear on both sides. Hey, that's worth another spot. Keep digging.
Got lap cars blending back in the line. Dylan Murway teaming up with the 23 at Kenny Wallace. See if they can make their way through the field. Ryan Newman is your race leader. Great fake out by Ryan Newman in the 12 team. Depending on how things shake out strategy-wise, possible winner. Just be a case of wait and see. 23 laps complete. Working lap 24 now.
Number 23, up.
Time for a good old NASCAR on Fox. Crank it up.
You put it out of behind you. You're clear. Number 17 is looking left.
Halfway through the 45th running of the Daytona 500, Ryan Newman is your race leader.
Still beside you.
Has been caution-free up to this point. A little bit of highlights, a little bit of lead changing. Dylan Murway being an excellent pusher in the 83. As every time they would go out for a couple laps, however, the rest of the field would catch right back up, and there would be those big 15, 20 car packs that NASCAR spent a lot of time in the offseason trying to break up.
Got one eye. Still there. Make it easy. The 30 car has got a run on you. You're clear.
Now, eventually with these long green flag runs and the smaller fuel cells, you're going to see this type of strategy in racing. But if we get a lot of cautions, that could jumble things up. Ryan Newman, by the way, has won the halfway lap leader award. I didn't even know that was a thing until people started talking about it, but he has won the halfway lap leader award in the Daytona 500. Bill Murway and Robbie Gordon teaming up, trying to maybe work their way towards the top 10. You can tell Robbie's tight. Dylan is just loose. He has almost spun that car for a moment.
Number 30 is all over your back bumper.
Coming through 3 and 4. Now it looks like Robbie Gordon seems to want to be glued to the high side. Number 31. See Robbie Gordon catching up to the 97 of Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch trying to side draft the 31. Who does Dylan go with? Does he go high? Does he go low? He's going to stick with his Chevy teammate over there with Robbie Gordon, low by Kurt Busch like he was standing still.
He's working with you, so give him some room.
Running through 28 laps complete. See Jeff Gordon hanging in 10th. Kind of a subpar speed weeks for him, being a championship 4 finalist last year. Everybody could be pointing to Gordon as a possible repeat to the championship 4. Had a bit of a slow start in 2002 before eventually getting things going. Out of turn 4, looks like Robbie Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Jr. are bailing the pit road. Maybe they're banking on a caution. Jimmy Johnson up there in 10th. A reminder that those two are Hendrick Motorsports teammates. You would have expected those two to hook up. Jeff Gordon, who is a 2-time winner at the Daytona 500, looking to do the same. Obviously, show Jimmy Johnson how to drive this track and hook up and work in the draft together, especially with these smaller fuel cells that they tested here at the Speed Weeks. This year. Twenty laps to go. There's Brett Bodine down there on pit road, Joe Nemechek, Terry Labonte. Lap to car Kyle Petty with a new scheme for 2003. Dylan Murray with a monster run. Jimmy Johnson gets held up behind a 48 of Jeff Green. Several cars are coming to pit road. I think those guys are blending in. Elliott Sadler and Tony Stewart. But Jimmy Johnson looked like he was going to hit, or he was going to come down, probably work with Dylan, get him a huge push. But Jeff Green, who's riding multiple laps down, and NASCAR should really consider parking Jeff Green because he's just running at least 30 miles an hour off the pace from the rest of the field. Which, you're just not even running at that point. You're just chugging along, trying to count laps. Not a good debut for Jeff Green after starting inside the top 5. Got a bunch of Fords behind Dylan Murray there. Kurt Busch up there in 10th. Racing with the 38 of Elliott Sadler. Ward Burton and Jeff Gordon up there, 3 seconds ahead. Jeff Gordon has started today 25th. Working on trying to get his 3rd Daytona 500. Jimmy Johnson was able to get out there. Getting towards the middle/late stages of the Daytona 500. Well over half this race complete. About 33 laps here in a few moments. Leader's about to begin lap 34. Kurt Busch goes around to 83 for position. Ooh, Kurt Busch slowing up. Big checkup. That's Jeff Green holding up his own teammate. Bobby Labonte was up there. He got held up. Now Dylan's going to take advantage of all of that and hook up with Rusty Wallace. NASCAR at this point just needs to black flag the one and just park him because this is just sad to watch. See him just get chugged around. He's at least 30 miles an hour slower than anybody. if you're losing the draft and somebody catches it, you should at least pick up the speed, not hold up guys like your own teammates. 16 to go. Rusty to take the lead. Oh, contact. That was quite a bit of damage to Rusty Wallace after that earlier accordion. Dylan trying to side draft the two, maybe. They're beating on each other. See a slightly different design for 2003 for Rusty Wallace. Normally in 2002, obviously Penske renumbered to Dodge for the 2003 season. And Rusty Wallace had that white and red trim underneath the blue. The trim where the rear bumper and quarter panel are has been taken off for just a plain blue look, but the trim where the number and front bumper are will remain. Slightly different change for Rusty this year. Rusty Wallace, the Vegas winner last season. Towards the final stages of the Daytona 500, in what has been a very clean race. No cautions, no big one, no nothing. Probably the only dust-up was between Rusty Wallace, Sterling Marlin, and Dale Jr. all the way back on lap 15. Bill Elliott has now taken the lead. Ryan Newman, Johnny Benson, Sterling Marlin, and Jeff Gordon rounding out the top 5. Not a whole lot of Ford representation up there. Even though with Johnny Benson running a Pontiac is still part of DM, and MD2 Motorsports and Hendrick do share the same engine program. So you could probably see, if the timing strategy is right, Johnny Benson and Jeff Gordon can team up and try to maybe get Johnny that win and that got away from him 3 years ago. We'll see how that shakes out against the Dodge fleet of Ryan Newman, Bill Elliott, and Sterling Marlin. Contact. Ricky Rudd puts Dylan into the wall. Ooh, more contact. Dylan almost turned Rusty Wallace, or almost got turned by him, and turned into the wall again. Now, yeah, he's pitting. He's got to pit. Looking through the way this race has gone, caution free, Dylan Murray is probably going to have to pit because of fuel and tires. He is not going to make it to the end. Probably next time by. Yeah, next time by. Dale Jarrett has gotten around Dylan Murray. Jarrett is a lap down because of pit stops. Cars are coming down pit road. And we'll see what Dylan does here. He's going to try to save as much as he can. Maybe stretch and hopefully stretch the yellow, stretch this field run probably to the red flag lap. Because if any caution happens after the red flag lap that couldn't be cleaned up quick, the race would end in the yellow. Or if it's within like 3 to go. In fact, that's how Dale Sr. won the Daytona 500 when 2 cars spun with 2 laps to go. And Dale Sr. timed it perfect, took the white flag and the caution flag, and ended up winning that Daytona 500. That was a race that eluded him for many years. And here comes Dylan Murway for his final pit stop of the day. Maybe 2 tire strat. He's going to go with left sides. 2 tire strategy. Maybe bank on a caution. Well, this will either work or he'll end up getting wrecked. The final stages of the Daytona 500. And back out of pit road for the final sprint to the finish during the Daytona 500. In a race that has been caution-free virtually up to this point. Let's do one more NASCAR on Fox, crank it up.
Inside. Good pass. Clear all around. 3 wide. Still beside you. That's a textbook pass there. Good job. Got one high. Hey, look out. Got one down low. Clear.
Six laps to go in the Daytona 500. So far up front, it's mostly been 5 cars battling for the win. Ryan Newman, Bill Elliott, Sterling Marlin versus Jeff Gordon and Johnny Benson. Those two have hooked up on the track, and those two are going to the front. But so far, it has been Ryan Newman's show for the most part in this Daytona 500. Ryan Newman, the Purdue graduate. Mechanical Engineering League came to NASCAR Winston Cup Series 2001 part-time. Had that great battle for the win with Jeff Gordon at the first ever race at Kansas Speedway.
The 18 car is still there. Careful.
1 year later, came to the Winston Cup Series Brooklyn.
You're
Had
clear.
some solid runs last year.
5, buddy.
Couldn't quite
5 to go.
close out the deal. However, this year he's definitely shown why he could be one of the top stars in this sport. Got 5 laps to go. Four to go now. So far it has been caution free. If a caution were to come out now, chances are this race would end.
Number 32 is passing low.
At the very minimum, this race would end. Heading through turn 3 and 4 again. 3 laps to go in the Daytona 500.
Got one outside.
It's been a very different Daytona race from what we expected. In the past, we've had those races we just had cited in small packs of 10 or 15, but it's been strung out all afternoon. We look the top 5 to quick glance there.
The 32 car is down low. Number 32 is still
2
there.
laps to go in the Daytona 500.
Back a spot. Let's push it. You're clear.
And trying to side draft Ricky Red, or Traden, sorry.
Let's finish strong.
Traden gets into the wall.
Try to keep him behind you. Okay, we're clear.
As the leaders head through 3 and 4. 5-car battle for the win. Dodge versus Chevy. Throw a little Ford there, and you got all the American manufacturers. As we head to the Tribal, the white flag will wave one more time around Daytona. Turns 1 and 2. And, bit of a stack up. Marlin got loose, got into Johnny Benson. Forced Benson and Gordon to check up. So far, it's basically a 2-horse race for the win. Meanwhile, Dylan Murray's coming back around. He's begun the final lap. Marlin's the big loser out of that big 3-car jam session. As Ryan Newman heading out of turn 4. Will Bill Elliott take a shot? No, he will not. From Purdue graduate to Daytona 500 champ, Ryan Newman will win his first career race, and he will win in the biggest way possible.
That'll work. Not a bad day overall. We learned some things today.
Not a single caution lap was run in the whole race.
Well, that's good news for all these race teams because that can mean one thing: no major wrecks.
The 83 car has someone new to look out for on race day.
I'm not sure how all this got started, but now that they have a little history on the track, it'll be something to watch in the weeks ahead.
We hope you enjoyed today's race as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Until next time, this is Joe Moore and Barney Hall signing off.
Ryan Newman, he had a strong rookie campaign, made it to the playoffs, believe it or not. Eliminated in the round of 16. A year later, he is a Daytona 500 champion. You take a look at the top 10. Bill Elliott ends up second, Johnny Benson third, Jeff Gordon fourth, Sterling Mullen fifth, Ricky Rudd sixth, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in seventh, Ward Burton eighth, Robbie Gordon ninth, and Dale Jarrett runs out the top 10. Steve Clark with a good run today. As we look through the remaining results, race stats, winner first, Ryan Newman bags $1.4 million. Caution flags, caution free from here to the end. 15 lead changes, time of race, 42 minutes. Average speed, 178 miles an hour, and the margin of victory, 1 second. Definitely a tough go for Joe Nemechek. Started 6th. And a solid car in the second day race. Ends up 28th due to a bad pit strategy. Only 3 cars, believe it or not, were off the lead lap. 40 cars finished today on the lead lap. Mark Martin and Kyle Petty were a lap down at the end, and Jeff Green, he had to peel in because NASCAR parked him for running around so slow. Next week, we will be heading to the Rock for race 2 of 36. The Subway 400 coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern. Take a look at some of the awards for the race. Dylan Murway won the pole. Bill Elliott led the most laps. Robbie Gordon passed the most cars. Kevin Harvick had the fastest lap. Dylan Murway was the best rookie. And Robbie Gordon made the best pass of the race. As you see the manufacturer standings, Dodge got 9 points heading into race 2. With Pontiac in second, Chevrolet third with 4 points, and Ford last with 3. So, see you next Sunday.